Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Clarence Gardens, Bailey Reserve, home of Southern Suburbs Rugby Club. Well, we are ready for round number 2 of the Emerging States Championships. I'm joined in commentary today by Callum Walton. How are you, Callum?
Good, thanks, Dave. How are you?
Good. Day off for you today?
Yeah, a bit of a rest day today. Rest
Nice.
the body, ready for Monday.
I think that's one of the most important things, and I've spoken to people about it. The squad of 30 for South Australia for this weekend, which means that, 29.
Yep.
So 6 people will have a sit down.
Unfortunately, Troy had to come out with injury, so we went down to 29.
But, you know, even so, that's 6 people who will have a day off, and you still have a full squad of 23. So there's fresh legs out there. Like Jack Groves didn't play on Friday night and is playing today, so fresh legs. Whereas the Victorians, who I was talking to their manager before the game, they had a number of players pull out a couple of days before they came down here.
Yeah, right.
They'd been given the time off work, and then that was taken away. So chalk and cheese, really, as far as squad management goes. There's a couple of South Australian boys in that Victorian side.
Plus the injury on Friday night.
Just an update on that. That was Scott Udell.
Was that the big second rower?
Yeah, he's an English guy. Break of his tibia and fibia.
Nice.
Had an operation yesterday morning. So best of luck to him, and hope he's okay.
Speedy recovery, mate.
I have to say,
fellow Pom.
I have to say, he dealt with that broken leg like an absolute champion.
Oh, I heard it was used a bit of a beer box as a splint for him.
I do love that. Welcome to South Australia.
Yeah, welcome
Cooper's
to SA.
box.
Welcome to Brighton Rugby Club.
Cooper's box and some sellotape. That sorted you out. But we were talking as well. These shirts, I don't think we did them enough justice on Friday night. They look fantastic.
We look slick, don't we?
I do like them with the gold numbers on the back. I do quite like it.
It's one of the best shirts I reckon Falcons have had in a while, thanks to O'Neill's.
Well, it's one of the only shirts that Falcons have had in a while.
Yeah.
But we are looking forward to it. Like, change-wise, they've basically changed the entire front. Well, they've basically changed the entire pack.
Yeah, that was
from Friday night.
That was the go with it. Coaches Snoop and Kev said that we want to give a fresh pack, fresh start to everyone who didn't play on Friday.
I'm actually looking. The only one who started on Friday night is Sean Meredith. That's got to be a big tick for Shawnee Meredith.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of the only fullbacks in the team. We have a couple pulling out. So little redhead gets a go again.
He's done well, and interested to see Tristan Coates playing on his home deck today.
Yeah,
from
knows the field very well.
Does know it, and a little bit of local knowledge. Field is looking okay actually today.
Yeah, pulled up nice after that NRC game yesterday. That was a cracker of a game, wasn't it?
It was good fun, that one. We were out here yesterday. Brisbane City getting up on that one, 33 points to 28, I think.
Yeah, see old Quady carving up.
Poor man. I think he was still in the changing room an hour after the game.
I heard they had to open up a back way for him to get out.
I did, yeah. It was interesting. But we are about ready to go. Sean Meredith will kick off on what is an overcast day. Hopefully it will get a little bit better. Deep driving kick to start us off. Victoria will have first bite of the cherry today.
A big hit from Blair Marshall there, captain today.
So Blair is a Burnside boy. Stanojevic just run over.
Marshall.
Another Souths boy. Again, we should probably mention that Rugby Australia have brought down their developing referees. This tournament is for them as much as anybody else. Jamie McGregor is downstairs, and he'll be monitoring and coaching over the next day and a half. But
it's good having some rest from interstate. We get pretty used in SA to the referees we got here, and so have a bit of a mix-up, and different state referees really helps us as well.
So Black Falcons line out inside the 22. Logan Brown making a start.
Yeah.
Premier for 2018 and 17.
Yep.
I'll try not to remind you of that.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dave.
Ashenford out to Plummer. Plummer has Coe on the inside, decides to go to Groves. Groves dealt with in midfield. Marshall.
Good
short ball to Man. Tried to wriggle his way through, but held up. Maul called.
Get that ball over the line, set it up for a nice 5 minutes.
It's the only way you're going to get anything. So you've got to get it out.
Oh, got the ball out.
Come out, Ashenford, Plummer.
Cool with the ball, hold up.
So 5 metre scrum. Our first chance really to see this brand new pack for the Falcons from Friday night.
Yeah, look, their front row this week is very strong as well. young Jacob Francis from Brighton there, had a great season there. And Stephen from Souths as well, playing on his home
Not going to
soil.
have a go at his surname?
No. You can have that one, mate. Stefanovic?
Stanojevic.
That's it. Close, wasn't it?
Really close.
Good attacking lineup set from the backs here at SA. A few options there.
Groves will pick and go. He will just try and find a grab. He'll roll off the first tackle. Good defence, but does manage to get it down. We are on the board.
Jack Groves loves that pick from the 8 there, running straight at the 10.
He's difficult to stop. Another Englishman.
Yes, from Southampton, I believe.
Certainly down on the south coast. A lot of the English players, I think, especially if back rowers of this generation, will have grown up watching Lawrence Dallaglio.
Yeah, Lawrence Dallaglio, a bit of Neil Black.
Very much a Lawrence Dallaglio trait, that picking up and running straight at the 10.
Yeah. Well, if I was Vic Country there, I'd be looking at maybe bringing in a big 12 standing in at 10 instead. Mix it up a little bit.
That's an interesting point there. We'll let Joel Plummer, he'll kick the extras. So South Australia will go 7 points to 0 up. It's an interesting point that why don't teams put in their strongest defenders into that 10-12 channel? Why do we always, we accept that Johnny Wilkinson ruined it being a fly half and being a big strong defender, but number 10 generally not the strongest one-on-one against the back rower. Why do we continue to leave the number 10 in there? Why can't we swap and change that around?
To be honest, I would swap as well. You look at Brisbane City yesterday, for example. Quaid will defend at 15 and they'll bring Carmichael Hunt up into 10, who's a bit more of a stronger defender.
Gary Mann will run out the first ball and then just sit down. Did well to hold on to the ankle though. Ashenford to Groves, inside ball to Brown. He'll work towards the 10-metre line. Ashenford again to Marshall. Marshall will pull it out the back to Plummer, to Meredith. Meredith will find a gap and go. Dragged down from behind.
Smart rugby there from Sean, a bit isolated, be able to get down, release the ball and stand back up.
Falafilo managed to drag him down. But South Australia are still moving. Groves. Ashenford looks for Stanojevic. Couldn't quite grab it, went backwards though, so has to tidy it up.
Bit of uncertainty there between the forward and the 10 there, who was going to get that ball.
And he ended up getting himself isolated just from the little skill error. And then good work from Matt Boyle, managing to get his hands on, and then beating the clean-up.
Couple of forwards there from SA, just standing in that channel between the 9 and 10 there. So just need to make sure that the 10's telling them what we need to do, really. But Vic Country looks strong in defence.
So they found touch, which is all you can ask for, really.
Rather be safe than sorry, Dave.
That's the one. I think we've both been guilty of trying to...
Back in my heyday.
Bite off more than we can chew at times. Condition-wise, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a bit breezy up here, but I don't think it's that bad down there.
No, I don't think I need that blanket anymore, Dave.
No, sun is doing its best to break through the clouds. Spring definitely came to party yesterday.
Beautiful, wasn't it? A bit of sunburn on the arms yesterday watching the rugby. It was nice. It's nice to be able to watch it rugby in SA with a beer in your hand for once.
Obviously drinking responsibly.
Yes, of course.
So Victorian lineup. Just inside the South Australian half. 7-0 to South Australia, and they've won the first line out against the head.
Tidied up there by Andrew Scott from Monkapringa.
There were issues at the line out on Friday night. We'll probably talk to you a little bit more about that as to where that went wrong.
Yep.
Plummer to Pitter.
This is the exciting one. Good.
Pitter with a flat ball to Benja. Benja has two outside. One is Meredith, then to Coates. Coates will put it on the boot. And it will go out. Interesting to see who it came out from. Oh, I thought it came off.
That came off the shin of
a Victorian player, but
then it went forward.
Knocked on into touch, so they have the choice, and they've gone with the scrum. So line-out-wise on Friday night, just wasn't there. I think you only won one, maybe two, of your own ball, and one of them obviously was a try. But what we found interesting was you play with Kieran.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of overthrow, and also just a little bit of timing with the jumping. Obviously, playing with Kieran's, we're used to each other, but not used to the jumper lifters we got as well. So it's a bit of timing with the lifters. Obviously, only having the one training together just to get it through. But hopefully, we've sorted it out for today and go forward a bit more positively with the lineouts. So it's a good scrum there by SA.
Kick back in by Gary Mann. Got away with it.
Quick ball for Joe will be nice.
Ashenford to Plummer. Plummer almost had a gap, stepped back inside, steps
in
two, then will straighten. Now looks for his support, offloads,
good hands.
ends up in the hands of Hyam.
Oh.
Hyam thought about passing and decided he didn't like that option.
Actually,
inside ball to Coe.
Speaking of Jason Hyam, I'll tell you a story about him a bit later, about what he has before a game. It's quite funny.
Another penalty though. Ashenford looks to go quickly. These little skill errors are going to... You might get away with them today when we get to the big show tomorrow, because you must have now circled that one in red and said Northern Territory
coach killer, isn't it?
No,
hey, there we go.
You've got a fair way to go before you get anywhere near Rockaborough numbers.
No, yeah. No, look, with that one, Joe's probably just rushing a little bit. I think it actually came off the referee, though, as he was coming around the corner, but it's an unlucky one. But, yeah, go back to Jason, went into change room today, getting ready, and I said, what are you drinking, mate? So he gets a maximum free energy, mixes a can of Coke with it, everything in there, just to give him a bit of boost to get him through a game.
Hopefully Asada aren't listening. Ashenford did everything he could to stop the big fella and managed to get it out eventually. Groves is there. He doesn't beat the clean-up. Victoria will be looking to settle and then find
Steve
somebody.
Won that ball there in that tackle.
That is something that Stanojevic does very, very well.
Oh.
If you go high and wrestle with him, he'll cause you problems. Marshall then hands it off to Hyam. Hyam will jump out the first tackle and he will go over. Second try of the day to the Falcons. And they haven't really looked in too much trouble.
It's good defence there by Steve. Hit the man and ball, stripped him. Set it up, nice platform for SA to go out the wide.
If you get your body shape wrong when you run into Stanojevic, he will steal it from you.
Yeah, I've had that a couple of times running into him. Big hard man.
I think he did it. It was a game we went Woodville versus South this year, and Woodville were on the march and looking for a match-winning try. Too high against Stanojevic, and off he went.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's a strong boy. Won best tackler of the state this year in the Don Smith Awards. So yeah, he definitely knows how to tackle. Yeah, SA looking really sharp, looking like a good squad there, so it's good.
But, you know, as I've said before, these are the games where you really now look to start to build your structure. You know, you've got yourself a 14-point lead, you got it early on.
Yeah. Yeah, now, like you said, we've definitely got the circle around NT tomorrow at 11 o'clock down here, so it's one we're really going to be aiming for. But it's good to get these games under your belt, you know, get a bit of confidence and a bit of structure together as a team.
Because we are live on Rugby Union South Australia Facebook page, brought to you by Spacequake Sports. We are interactive as well. Have any questions for Carla and Marai?
Bit fancy, isn't it, there?
Yeah, well.
Joel Plummer there just pushing the kick to the left of the post.
So 12-0 early on.
It's a great kick by Big Country
kick,
there.
Really good kick. I think there's an advantage for a knock-on. Ashenford again will find Stanojevic. He'll just go straight. Ashenford to Groves, pulls it out the back to Plummer, to Coe. Coe will try and find a gap, gets through, gets his hands free. Brought down on halfway.
Nice hard run from
Groves
Jack
has gone
there.
hard, but
bit isolated there.
A little bit isolated. Logan Brown had to work to get to him.
I thought he had that, the Vic Country fella.
Did just enough. Hyam.
On his own. Bit of individual running there from SA, last couple of phases. Oh, beautiful inside
ball to Pitter. Now
this
what can Pitter do?
Oh.
Now he will put his foot down and Pitter will go through
just
under the
coasted.
posts. He will dot it down. Make the kick easier for Joel Plummer.
Tell you what, played against Pitter this season and he's one hell of a player. Just the change of pace he's got is just unbelievable.
I think you talked about individual running then and where it was. Like, that stuff will work today.
Yeah.
Will it work tomorrow?
No.
So we go back to the point I made after the last try, and I know it sounds like I'm being hard on the South Australian side. I'm a South Australian fan. This is the point that they really have to shore everything up and now start playing at a pace that they want to play at, in a structure they want to play at.
Yeah, you can't go into these teams just going willy-nilly. You still got to stick to your structure, you still got to stick to your phases, because if you don't, like you said, you come up against a strong team and things just don't click. So hopefully SA can stick to their structure, stick to their phases, and go ahead tomorrow real strong and positive.
Well, that one is successful, so that one will be South Australia 19, I think.
Just Harrison Rahili, who was actually named in the SA squad, saying hello. He unfortunately had to pull out due to injury, so hello Harrison.
But it's the hardest job in the world, and I think Snoop Jackson has his work cut out for him. When you are dominating a game, like they have been in the first 14, 15 minutes of this game, when you are dominating a game, it's then difficult to try and get them to pull back into structured rugby.
Correct.
Yeah, because as a rugby player, you're kind of like, well, why should I play to a structure when all I have to do is run through people?
Yeah.
Great
correct.
kick again, and Matt Boyle manages to get into it.
SA need to cover that front 10 there. That's where he's been going the last couple of times.
Towie will take a run.
Good steal there by Logan Brown.
And Logan Brown has turned it over to Groves. Stanojevic.
No one with him again.
And again it's gone to ground, and Ashenford gets
big hit by Joe.
Two big blokes.
Not the biggest man, Joe.
Man to Marshall. Marshall will look back inside.
Just straightens up and settles it down there a little bit, Marshall, which is good.
Brown will roll after the first one. Get to halfway. Meredith comes and does the dirty work. Groves will show and go around the outside, jumps off a couple of tackles, and then Marshall will go forward. Another offload, but again, that's just lost forward. Probably pushed it a little bit too far. Now the Victorians will look to counter-attack. Puts the ball on the boot. Over the head of Meredith. It's a good kick, as long as the chase is there with him. Meredith will find Pitter.
This is where you watch Pitter just do a bit of magic. Tied him up well there.
So Ashenford will look to settle to France.
Good bounce there by Jacob.
He's brought down eventually. Plummer to Man. No, missed Man out, found Groves.
Just dropped at Jack's feet there. A bit of a low pass from Joel, so unlucky Jack. Not your fault, mate.
Those little skill errors, what are they?
Yeah, coach killers, mate. Just like down here, we spoke about earlier, the 50-50 offloads. If they're not on, don't give it, you know. Unfortunately, that's where you get your structure from. So just pushing it a little bit there, because game's starting to open up in a little bit. So
scrum bang on halfway. I'll get a good view of this one.
Nice bit of hair there on Steve, isn't it? Jeez.
He's been cultivating that for a while, I think. It's a different look for the Victorians. It's a flatter look in that backsline.
Yeah. Looks like they're probably going to do a 12 crash or out the back to that winger coming through. So a few options there. Solid scrum from SA again.
Yeah, they've turned another. Well, I thought they had turned another one over, but
good pressure.
Lost forward. So South Australia will have a scrum, and we'll have a look at the difference between the two backlines. Whether they go as flat, and I think. We go back to that defence, and you've got defenders like Benja and Coe. I have no great issue with moving Joel Plummer out into that number 13 channel.
Yeah, correct. Joel's not a bad defender, but like you said, you've got a big boy running him. I'd rather have a 12 or a 13 who can just make that solid hit there. Be interesting to see what we do off the back of scrum here if we go straight to the 10.
I've got
if we come down that blind side a little bit.
Coates looks like he wants to get involved. Plummer to Coe, and he will straighten, and good option from Coe.
Very hard man to stop.
Then he will fire it out to Pitter, and Pitter has got acres in front of him. He was going to look for the corner and find the corner, and managed to come round just a little bit to make the kick a little bit easier. Start to move off the back of the scrum, try time. That is the opposite to a coach killer.
That is perfect. First phase try. Straight hard running by Terry there, coming straight through the middle. Straightens it up, and then great hands to give it outside to Pitter.
I mean, Tristan Coates won. He wore one for his troubles, but that meant that the gap opened up for Coe.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's it. Everyone's playing their part in that role there. Clean ball from the forwards. Nice crisp pass from Joey to 10, going straight over. It's nice. So far, so good. Ticking all the boxes for SA. Got some good hydration managers out there today for SA. A couple of boys played Friday, having the rest day today. So got the old hat-trick man, Carl Fleetwood-Piper, out there.
I think Harrison Rahali has obviously asked the worst question I've ever heard asked. Just didn't have the distance on that one. That's whether you're not playing today.
Yeah, no, Harrison, I'm playing.
I think that's pretty obvious that you're not playing today.
No, I'm mic'd up on the field, so... Can we do that, Space Quake? You know,
I thought it was
Super Rugby, get the mic up on the player?
We can. We certainly can. We're just trying to find where we could put the receiver that it's not going to hurt the players. But yeah, we could make somebody
I'm sure there's somewhere you could put it.
I'm sure there is. We'll just wrap it up. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
But I thought Harrison Rahali was smart.
You haven't met him properly, Dave.
So let's see. The kickoff has worked well for Vic Country. They just missed the last one. Oh, that one's not worked at all.
That's a jinx from the commentator.
Yeah, sorry about that. The old commentator curse.
Oh,
that's just stolen.
Straight
and it has worked the same way, Stanojevic.
That's where we just want Stevie just to look at that, giving it the outside.
Ashenford to Mann.
Up.
He will straighten. Then back to Brown. Out the back to Plummer. Marshall. Marshall will run round the corner. Did well to get away with that one, I think, Mr. Coe.
Oh,
another
Francis strip there.
Stolen again, but not lost forward in the steal. Victoria really haven't had much ball.
No, a lot of defence. But they're going well. I'm impressed by them. Yeah, okay, scoreboard is nice and tidy for SA, but for a team that's got very little numbers, I think they've got one person on their bench, or two, sorry. They're putting a good effort in.
They have two, both South Australian boys, Pete Campagna and Ben White, on the bench for the Victorians.
Yeah, look, they obviously haven't had much time together. They've come from everywhere in Vic Country. I think they played one little trial match against the Rebels under-19s, which was good for them, but they're going all right, you know. It's good to have opposition, you know.
Well, I spoke to the Victorian manager before the game and asked what his expectations or what their expectations from this tournament was, and it was exposure was what they wanted, so glad that Space Quake Sports can give them a little bit of game tape.
Yeah.
These boys all play country. None of them play in the Metro Leagues in Victoria, so that's what they're hoping. The last time that they did something like this, a couple of the boys were picked up by Melbourne Uni and went on and played in obviously the bigger leagues, which is what they want. And unfortunately for them at the moment, not a huge amount of ball in hand, but you know, without it, Matt Boyle, the captain, he's done well. I mean, a couple of good contestables from the kickoff and some nice Jacqueline work going on, but I'd really like to see them get going.
Yeah. Just a bit of a knock on there from Jack Groves back to scrum, so hopefully Vic Country get this ball and can see what they can do with it.
Well, they do get it. It's a bit scrappy because they were going back again. And South Australia will have another scrum. And they've shown how dangerous they can be from the back of the scrum with the starter moves.
Yeah, bit unsure, the number 11 halfback there from Vic Country, what he was going to do with the ball. So put himself under a bit of pressure.
Well, we talk about platform. And if you don't have a platform, it's very, very difficult to do anything from it.
Yeah, correct. You need that go forward from your forwards, your piggies. That's what we're there for. And there's nothing worse as a piggy going back in a scrum, I can tell you that.
Not something you did very often this year at Burnside,
No, we had a very strong scrum a couple of times. Unfortunately, our main tight head got injured, broke his leg, so it was a bit of work to do after that, but we pulled through it. And yeah, good platform for us this year.
Ashenford will feed. Finds Plummer to Coe. Inside ball option is Pitter again and again. Coe will get his hands free and get it off to Pitter. Pitter just wandering almost.
See Terry's down there a bit and back. It's funny you see all the boys calling for the ball when Peter's running, but just you need to get there and support, really. That's the first thing to do.
Ashenford again to Mann. Outside to Stanojevic. Brown, Plummer. Coe rolls out, gets his hands free, gets it to Meredith, and Meredith will send it one more to Pitter, and over there we'll go. That is his hat-trick. Yep. An early hat-trick of that.
Very early. So we had a hat-trick from Carl on Friday night, and now we've got a hat-trick from Pitter today. Those good hands there from SA, just draw and pass. That Terry's just a 12, he's just such a strong ball carrier, so hard. I mean, playing against him last year, trying to wrap my arms around him. Bloody, he's a big man. So.
And it's getting him tied up as well. If he gets his hands free, then that's going to cause problems.
Correct.
As far as team list goes, they should be on the Rugby Union, on the Rugby AU app, the game day app.
Oh, yep.
We're supposed to be doing it through them today.
So Nicola Roberts, if you go on the Rugby AU app, you'll find hopefully the team sheets on there.
Hopefully.
Can't guarantee.
Plummer gets underneath that one again. Doesn't quite have the legs and didn't really have the direction either.
No.
So 29-0, 24 minutes gone.
Joel won't be happy with himself there. He loves his kicking practice. Wednesday night after training, absolutely pouring down with rain down at Brighton. Everyone's getting in their cars, leaving. He's still out there in the pouring rain, knocking them over.
Do you feel he's just not driving through? He's getting underneath them. You can see he's getting underneath. You're a former kicker yourself.
Long time ago, Dave.
But it does feel that he's getting underneath them and not driving through it.
Yeah, leaning back a little bit just as he's kicking it, which is obviously looks like more of a chip than if he gets his head over that ball, a bit of power.
So, looks for redemption, gets a little bit of redemption, moves it back, and then on the way to Mann. What can they do against him? Ball's been stolen and come out. Which way is it going to go?
That should be an SA ball.
It is an SA ball.
Yep. It's good still there by Vic Country though. Good pressure there on the restart.
What's this, like second line out of the day today?
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen many line-outs for South Australia. Referee not happy with the old NFL huddle. Told him to get on with it.
Good line out
Marshall off the top.
Good dart from Logan Brown, which is what we like to see.
Out to Coe. Coe has an inside ball to Benja. Benja will look for a gap, gets through the first one,
he just
and runs through the second one and the third, and he's still going. Benja looks like he's going to go all the way. One to beat, just held up, pops off to Groves. Couldn't bring it down.
No, that is comedy from Jack Groves there. I said I wouldn't pick on him today, but Jack, that is just funny, mate.
Do you know what I think he was thinking about? I think he was thinking about the finish. Because we gave
his
him
amazing
such
dive.
a hard time.
Yeah.
For his finish, I think that's probably what was going through his head.
But can I just say, what a run from Matt Benja, fellow Burnside man. Playing with him, he just doesn't stop pumping those legs. Great line break there, and he just won't give up. Great run, mate. Well done.
Almost got there.
Just lost a little bit of speed at the end, I think. Bit tired. But Jack, mate, that's a fine for that one. Bit cold now, Dave?
No, actually not cold. I'm just trying to keep the sun off the top of the trying to keep the sun off the top of my head.
You don't have a nice Spacequake Sports cap to wear, mate.
I can't afford one. I get handed the cap.
Jeez. Second-hand handy-downs.
So Victorian scrum. Well, 5 metres off their own line. It's a dangerous position for them because, as we've said, South Australia are managing to put a lot of pressure on that scrum.
Yeah, I can't see, but it sounds like we've got a nice little crowd underneath in the grandstand as well, so a lot of cheering going on.
There's certainly people who've come out.
Yeah, a bit early on a Sunday morning, but it's nice. Get a coffee.
No better way to spend a Sunday morning, really.
Beautiful, isn't it? Back in the old days in England, rugby was always a Sunday sport.
Better comes out the back into the pocket, has to step. It's not going to go, so Coates let it bounce. Couple of times.
Good step there by Tristan.
Big, strong South African runner, Tristan Coates. He's lost it though.
Good steal. Very good steal by the 6 there from Vic Country. He's
had a very, very good game, Matt Boyle.
Yeah.
Nice to see him sporting the red headgear so we know who he is. Now they're just going to look to try and settle. White one of the
South Australian boy.
Australians.
Oh, big hit by Marshall.
Textbook tackle from Marshall.
Yeah, he would like doing that on a South Australian boy. Another big hit there from Blair. Ooh.
They've decided against trying to get rid of it. They're just going to try and run their way through. And they do put boot to ball.
Just have a look at Jack Groves there. He looked like he suffered a little bit of knock then in that tackle. Looks all right now. He's a strong boy.
Blair Marshall, like, I don't know whether it comes across on camera. He must be about, what, 6'6"?
Nah, not that tall.
He's a little bit taller than me.
He's about an inch taller than me, and I'm small.
But he has the world's smallest dog.
Yes, yeah, little Luna.
Inside to Groves, you've lost it again.
Just those handling areas. But yes, no, Blair Marshall, 6'5", and he's got a little
tiny little
terrier,
dog.
little Luna. Yeah.
Looks hilarious when he
yeah,
and cute, but
his wife's reasonably tall as well, so it's quite funny watching them walking along with a little dog. She's a bit of a character though. She's as good as gold. But yes, another knock on there from SA, just hands there. So get the old sticky spray out at half time, I think.
No, I got to be careful because Jack Groves is one of my biggest fans.
Is he?
He loves my work.
Ah. At least there's someone, Dave.
I feel like I can't. I know, yeah, my only one.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't criticise him.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, I'll leave that all
It's funny,
to you.
before while they're warming up, I said, Jack, I'm commentating there. Watch out. He said, please don't insult me, please. So, try and be.
So, changing halfback, David McDonald, who's been doing the restarts, has come in.
Nice straight feed there.
Big fella will go. Get a nice little offload out the back, and Victoria are finally over the gain line. A little bit isolated, but kind of held and waited for his support, and the support will get there. And starting to build a little bit of phase rugby, the Victorians. Can they build on it? They do have numbers out here. Looked for the offload, it wasn't there, so brought it back in, and that's what you were talking about, not pushing those 50-50 passes.
Yeah, which is what you got to do, you know, just set and re-go again. There's no point doing the 50-50s with the risk of it not going to hand, so.
Box kick charged down by Stanojevic, then it will come off the feet, and Stanojevic can go. Change the ball at half time, I think the Falcons will be wanting.
I think the SA boys are used to those Rhino balls, so swapped over, so that's my excuse anyway. That's good defence there by SA, but yeah, no, I'm one of these players that just likes to settle things down. You don't need the 50-50s unless it's 100% on, so good there from Vic Country in that aspect.
So Victorian scrum in the middle.
Number 21 from Vic Country. I think that's his partner saying awesome try saver back on Benja earlier, so
there we go.
Good tackle.
I don't have number 21, I don't know who number 21 is.
No, neither do I. Can you tell us who number 21 please?
It's gone nice and quick from McDonald, but I think both teams now want to change the ball.
Penalty advantage there for a high tackle.
Ashenford.
Oh, good man.
Out to Benja. Benja does well to get his hands free. Hyam will then give it to Pitter.
Oh.
I think he tackled himself somewhat there.
Got a
man will step at halfback.
Vic Country prop down there, looking a bit injured. Number 3.
Matt Dewar is slow to get up. Hyam.
Great hands.
Good hands to Man. Man will step back inside, and he will go over.
Good finish by Gary Mann.
They've had a lot of success on that left-hand side.
Yeah, working down the narrow, it's looking pretty good. I think Vic Country just running out of legs a little bit now, coming up to half-time, are we? 32 minutes gone, so.
Well, you know, as we said before the game, there was 14 changes for the starting 15.
Yeah.
For South Australia. The Victorians don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
So it's a big couple of days for the Vic boys. And this is their last game. They go home today.
Yes, yeah, they have to head home today. A few of them got work tomorrow, I think.
Tassie will play a President's 15.
Yeah, all under 21s team from SA. So it'd be good for our youth to get out and play against the state team.
And that President's 15 side will be coached by Grips from Rugby Australia.
Yep.
So Rugby AU, and had a chat with him about how he felt about his first South Australian coaching gig. He's honoured.
Yeah. 21 from Vic Country is Tyler Raymond. Well done, Tyler Raymond.
So Meredith takes up the kicking duties, puts it in almost exactly the same spot as Joel Plummer.
Yeah, no, Sean can kick. Hasn't kicked much though, so during the season didn't have to. So probably just brushing off the cobwebs there. We've got number 3 coming off of it. Country looks in a lot of pain there.
Looks about as perfect as it could possibly be for kicking today.
No wind is it though.
Good side for the right footer over there.
Unfortunate for Vic Country there, just losing another player.
They are at 15, but I think that pushes their bench to 1.
Which isn't handy. Still a long time to go in the game. Jeez, it's that.
So McDonald again with an absolutely wonderful kick.
Oh.
Ben White.
Jeez, big old Jason Hyam with the hit there.
I'm not sure whether Ben White had his feet on the ground when he was hit by Hyam.
Bit of SA friendly fire there.
Stanojevic up very, very quickly. Went for the steal again. Ben White still going though. There's another go at Hyam. And then Campagna will join in. Campagna and Hyam know each other very well, both playing at Elizabeth.
Yeah, Jason likes the old niggle. I know I've been told that I do, but playing against Jason was always a nightmare.
Oh, suspicion, but we'll let that one go as Victoria will start to go. And the mysterious number 21 will make his way in.
Tyler Raymond.
So Raymond wearing the number 21. Did well, that's a massive hit. And the offload. And Victoria putting on a show.
Tell you what, that wasn't a small man he bumped there, old Gary Mann.
No, and
he won't like that.
A little knock on, so it's given Victoria a scrum in a very, very good position. Number 8 for Victoria will need to get it out. I think it's Abel Tito who's wearing the number 8. Whether he's at number 8, I don't know.
So we've got 5 minutes till half time. Hopefully we can see Vic Country do something with this ball.
Well, we are playing time on, so there might be a little bit more. But we'll wait and see.
Jacket off, and now it's bloody cold again, Dave.
Spring. I think it was Abel Tito who is playing number 8, and it was him who sat Mr. Man down.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see the highlights on that one, Gary Mann.
It's a fair amount of humans to try and stop, though, Mr. Tito. They have got it out quick. Options in and out. McDonald is one of them.
Good line there. Just
White showed and then stepped back inside, met by Marshall. And then we'll go out to the right-hand side. Ryan Gilson taking it up.
Big man again.
He will try and get through. He's dealt with eventually by France, but then Victoria will look down the short side over there.
Advantage there for a high tackle, I believe.
The big fella is going to go again. That's becoming a Space Quake Sports favourite, Mr. Tito. Penalty. Around 5 metres out, Campagna thought about going quickly, then decided against it.
34-0 down. Tap and go, do you think?
I would think so. I mean, I'd still like to see what they've got from a line-out point of view. Probably have a better option than the one out that they had.
On his own
again. He didn't want that. He went as a support runner. Now Groves can look to go away. Then he'll give it to Benja, to Meredith. Acres of space behind. Coates, he will put it in that space. Still in field. Then it will take its bounce. Coates got hit very, very hard.
Very legal and very hard. I think just a bit of a wind there. See, I would have liked Shawnee then just to put it on the boot. They had no one back.
Acres and acres of space.
We don't have to run it from the 22 every time.
And that would have given, because Shawnee Meredith can chase a ball.
Yes, yep, it's been proven. It's just what we were talking about earlier, Dave. Trying to run from everywhere. It's not always what you need to do. Sometimes just put it on that boot, set it up.
Even against opposition that you are dominating, you still need to play rugby in sensible areas. And the other thing is as well is that Tristan Kurtzer has taken a hit, which he didn't need to.
Yeah. It's good pressure there by Blair Marshall.
Oh, he's thrown that back inside. That one's forward. Gary Mann too clever for his own good.
Tried to through the legs. There's only one of us that can do that, Dave.
He's an actual dummy between the legs. I've not seen that for a while.
No.
Smiles all round.
Might have to put that one on the old
It would have
fines
been a
list.
highlight. Well, yeah, I mean, the sheriff of the Falcons will have a busy time, I think, going through this tape.
Yeah, Mr. Adam Priestley, the manager.
It's a Victorian scrum inside their own half. Not long to go to half time. We are playing time on. I think we're playing time on. Into midfield. Chip through. Coates has to pick it up and deal with it. Oh, he was hit hard again. Oh, geez.
Another big
I'm not
hit.
entirely sure that one was legal.
That one was in the kidneys.
That was, well, I don't have a name for the number 13, but my word. The number 15, which is Philip Keach, hit him.
Tell you what, Tristan's a hard little man there, South African. Tell you, jeez.
I think Tristan, most of his highlights from this year, from the Spacequake broadcast, have been him getting tackled legally and illegally.
And he just keeps on getting back up.
He just keeps bouncing up. Big, tough South African.
Nah.
That ball had definitely gone.
In the kidneys as well for that one. I think it might be going to his pocket.
I think he may sit down for a little bit, which will put the Victorians under the pump.
There we go.
Yeah. Just the yellow. Nothing malicious, a little hand up of apology as he goes off, but...
it's always nice sportsmanship after you've done the dirty thing.
I don't think it was dirty. I don't think there was any malice in it.
No, just a bit over-excited. That wind's picking up now, Dave, so...
It is, but it is picking up and we are on top of the grandstand. That is, we should say that. It might not be terrible down at ground level. Marshall again off the top to Ashenford, to Plummer. Coe to Plummer on the wraparound. I'm pretty sure that's a flat ball. Too flat. I'm pretty sure Tristan Coates didn't want that ball off Coe.
So there, Joel, we had the option on the shorter Benja, but if he went wide, we were on.
Just like to see those loops and drop passes done a little bit closer to the gain line. It's kind of done before anything happens,
yeah, you're not
which
really
allows
fixing anyone, are you?
No, and I don't feel I'm being overly critical of South Australia, but
that's because you're passionate, Dave.
I want to see them do well. The resurgence of this Black Falcons program.
Oh, it's awesome. You know, when we got called up to play for the Black Falcons after such a long time, it was a great feeling. What a scrum.
Victoria have cleaned it up well enough, though. They'll go to White. White will straighten, run into Plummer and France. Has to work to ground, gets there eventually. Oh, short ball missed everyone. Now Coates can go. Puts it on the boot again. Gets taken late again. This time
Terry just rolls over.
This time by Coates.
Played to the whistle. That's what that is from Terry, so that's good.
Looks like a little bit of a hamstring issue for Raymond on this near wing.
Funny looking at Sean Meredith with the shirt tucked in because it's 3 times too big for him.
They never think about Sean Meredith when they
well, unfortunately, he was a late inclusion with someone pulling out, and I think the shirt was for the other fullback, who's a lot bigger than Sean, shall we say.
I think most people are bigger than Sean, aren't they?
Yeah, most people. Even my dog, probably. Is this going to be another yellow, Dave?
I think it's close to it. It was Pete Campagna who got him with the over-the-shoulder tackle.
Very late as well.
Late and over the shoulder, and I don't think it's enough for a penalty try. It's definitely not enough for a penalty try.
Yeah, another yellow.
Another yellow, and it's going to be a tough afternoon now for the Victorians.
Technically, that's a yellow. It was a try scoring opportunity. We did score from that. Could class it as a penalty try?
No.
No?
No. Has to be almost certainly a try, and there was enough Victorian defenders on the way back.
But they scored.
No, well, they scored because all the Victorians stopped.
Oh, okay.
Because of the whistle. Anyway.
Leave that up to the viewers.
Of course. But it'll be a lineup. Marshall brings it down. Good
well
sack by Victoria. But the maul does keep going. Can they get it to the back? Who's got it? Who wants it? It's over. It's down. Try scored.
Nice setup there, but that's interesting. The ref actually said use it now. And
it's Jacob French who comes up with it. The driving maul is always difficult to deal with. And then when you're 2 players down, it makes it even worse.
Jacob France, I like getting that meat pie. No, that's half time, I believe, I reckon.
It would be close to it, you would think. So Sean Meredith will continue taking over the kicking duties. Who would be next in line?
After Sean, or Tristan, maybe, winger. I think he's had a little nudge for South this year. Got a couple on the bench that can knock him over as well. So.
He'll send that one on the way. That's a much better kick. Over the dot, flags go up. One of the few conversions of the first half, and that will be it, with South Australia leading this one 39 points to 0. We will just take a short break. We'll be back with you for the second half. Thank you very much for watching us on Rugby Union South Australia Facebook, powered by Spacequake Sports. Hey, welcome back. South Australia Black Falcons leading this one 41 points to 0 against Victoria Country, who are in the wars somewhat. They are going to start the second half with 2 still in the sin bin.
2 or what? Yeah, 2 still.
1 on the bench. Battered and bruised, but still going. That's part of rugby, isn't it?
It's all fun and games. If you're not battered and bruised after a rugby game, did you even play?
All good.
Don't forget as well, the next game up will be Tasmania versus the Northern Territory. Northern Territory looked very, very impressive on Friday night.
Very impressive, strong, well drilled.
So circle that one for tomorrow. McDonald will kick off again. Another good deep kick. Stanojevic just abandoning Hyam while he was in the air. And again, Matt Boyle has got hands on and got the touch.
Still.
So we talked about exposure and we talked about getting people possibly playing at a higher level.
Yeah, there might be a few Victorian teams in the City League looking, a few of these country boys wanting to bring them down.
I'll tell you what, Matt Boyle, if you can find a job in South Australia, I think there's a couple of clubs might be interested in you over here.
Wow, I'm leaving at the end of this year, so
Burnside have got a spot for a number 6. Kurtzer to Plummer. Oh, he wanted a lot of time, and McDonald got him.
You're watching that saying, you need a kick, you need a kick. Good step there.
Oh, Koei hit it very hard. That's another part of Koei's game.
A very strong man.
White into midfield. We'll find Fala for you. Better start from Country Victoria.
Out the back there to Mr. Capitano.
Marshall will bounce it towards Stanojevic. He'll give it to Kurtzer. Kurtzer will put the foot down and Kurtzer will go around the outside.
Wonder if anyone's going to late hit him now.
a man who was in the wars now will pick up a try.
All you need is one of the SA boys to now come and tackle him.
Just hit him. Nice to see Plummer up and about.
I was watching that, you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit. Good start to the second half by SA there. Carried on from the first half well.
Good timing of the pass from Stanojevic as well.
Tell you what, a bit disappointed the old barbecue's not fired up down here at South.
Well, they had a big day yesterday.
It was a great day yesterday, good turnout.
Meredith will push that one over. The flags go up.
Seems like he's got his radar back on track now.
So 2 points away from the magical 50. Nice spread of try scorers as well for South Australia.
Yeah, forwards and backs. It's nice also, a lot of communication out there, which is good when you've got players coming from all different clubs, aren't used to each other. The communication's really, really strong, which is nice.
McDonald will drive that one deeper in the direction of Kurtzer.
Here we go. He gives that one straight away.
He doesn't want a bar of that. Groves looking for a gap.
Give it.
Wants to take it himself, gets his hands free. Kind of overran his support somewhat. Ashenford to Marshall.
Heads up now.
Ashenford to Plummer.
No, that's a good option there.
That is a very, very good option. How's the bounce going to be? Kurtzer will chase and get there. And get his hands on. Does he beat the clean out? South Australia get there in numbers and they have turned it over. Ashenford will look to the right to Kurtzer. Kurtzer back inside to Ashenford. And they will go over.
And that's what we're talking about there, Dave. The kick down, don't have to run everything. The option's there. Vic Country were very flat in defence there, and the behind ball was perfect opportunity. Good chase and follow.
Trust that you're going to get those turnovers in areas that you want to play rugby. Quite happy with them being a little bit cavalier and throwing one-handed over the top passes in that area.
Yeah, correct. Thanks for that, Caleb. Yeah, text Tyrone about that barbecue. Love a steak sandwich.
So there's a few in there, but that's up to them. Yeah, no, you are.
Meredith will be happy that the kicks are starting to find their way in front of the posts.
Let's not jinx him now, Dave.
That's what I do. So that one is stroked over.
Conversion successful. Takes the score to
Hey, just with, he's going to make sure you.
So 55-0 with a fair amount of time to go.
Come around through the gate. So has to come, he has to go off.
Yeah, a few of the Vic boys slowly getting back to halfway.
Well, Philip Keach has made his way back into the ground. So 14 on 13.
Straight down to the play you don't want it to go to.
Coe to Plummer, and Plummer will try and find a little bit of a gap, but there's acres of space again behind if they can find it. Ashtonford.
Nice little step. Oh, great little offload.
Gets his hands free. Another good offload. Meredith has to wait.
It's not
He'll
very
run through a tackle.
Not very often you see little Sean bump someone.
Plummer over the back. Looks for space, then gives it to Pitter. Pitter will think about the kick and then decide he wants to go.
Oh.
Second time of asking, the big fella Tito got him. Good counter ruck from Tito as well, but just knocked it off when he tried to pick it up.
Lost forward. Scrum. It was a good turnover. Watch that winger leading with the elbow. Okay. Yeah. Hey, just a couple of things. You're 29. Tackles are leading up just a bit high.
So scrum midfield.
Yeah. Do we see the traditional 8-9-15 or do we see them come over?
I'd like to see the 8-9-15. They've set up for it. Is there anything else in the bag of tricks, or are you going to keep that secret just in case there's anyone from the territory watching?
I'm not a back, Dave. I wouldn't know. We don't get told much as the forwards. We just get told to put our heads down, bums up.
Bind. Set.
You just look over the shoulder and the warm-ups of the other two teams and just how well drilled NC are looking.
Coe pulls it out the back to Benja, and that will go down. Got away with it, though.
Did that go backwards, is he saying?
Just keep an eye on.
That's a bit of
keep an eye on that because it's a bit messy. All good. Handshake as they get up. Another messy one.
And they've won another breakdown there. Just, I say, a bit slow to the breakdown.
Again, these are things that you'll just want to iron out before tomorrow's game.
Yeah. A few people just running on their own straight back into the breakdown, which is not really where you want to be running. You want to be running away from the breakdown.
So there will be a line out ball that we can go and get later.
Yep.
But there will be another line out. Victorian country line out. Logan Reynolds putting the ball in. Go to the back and off the top. Inside ball.
Need to go low on him.
Falafila will make a couple of yards past the gain line. Out to White. Flat ball, good flat ball.
They're looking a bit sharp now, Vic Country. Bit of momentum.
Leave it.
Mann and Campion will get him. It's a flashback to the old collegiate days.
Roll 7.
Boyle, the captain, will have another little run.
Bit of slow rolling away there from SA.
Oh, off the head. Got the penalty anyway, though.
Straight into the half.
Not rolling away.
Got to get out quicker. Straight into the half.
It's good to see some of the Vic Country still having a smile and joke on their face.
Kota went up and got it, Gave it to Meredith. What are the counter-attack options? Acres and acres of space behind
again. You want to just put it down deep.
Ashtonford goes.
Loose hands again. Yep.
Hyam gets hit and lost forward.
This is where you get frustrated because All you need is a nice steady platform, set it up, and play what's in front of you, you know?
I mean, it's an easier job from up here because we can see the whole pitch.
Correct.
But on that turnover, and he spoke about it on Friday, is we have structure what we do in attack, we have structure what we do in the defence. We very rarely have structure what we do on a turnover, both ways.
Yeah. It's one of the things we trained actually is the counter attack as well, so that's a bit frustrating.
But acres and acres of space behind, and even the box kick would have put South Australia into the Victorian half. Oh, flat ball went by Coe and Plummer, but did well. Coe almost got it, didn't beat the clean up. Ball pops out, but they managed to settle it again. Now they will come to this near side. Coe will make another hit. Plummer will be loving the fact that he's got Coe as a 12. White shows and goes. Turned over. So turnover, acres of space, numbers.
Now this is where you go
numbers,
wide, ship it
lots
out.
of numbers. Now they decide to come out the back.
Carried back.
And
so
that is, it's bounced absolutely perfectly for Meredith.
Very lucky there by Meredith. But if you looked out wide, if we sent wide, you know, it's just heads up rugby that needs to be played.
Again, it's easy for us because we can see the whole thing.
So it was inside. No, landed inside.
Inch perfect kick from Meredith as he struts away, as if he meant it.
If you ask him, he definitely meant it.
So Victorian lineup. Over the top. Hyam's going to get there first. Hyam just wants a rumble. Runs at Campagna, runs through Campagna. It's an incredible run from him.
He loves a big old run, Jason Hyam, getting those legs pumping. This is where you see what's on. Good straining up there. See, that's 6.
Got it again, the 6.
Straight over.
Now
This
they've
could
got a
be
little
on.
bit of time and space.
Benja with the missed tackle there.
Inside ball. Coates does well. Ashenford went for the.
Just a little knock on when he looked up and saw a big flanker running straight at him.
Discretion was the better form of valour there for Ashenford.
Yeah, a little bit of stains there, I think.
Did not want a bar of Campagna who was coming down fast on him.
Oh, I'll definitely be giving him some stick for that one, little Joe.
So Victoria will have another scrum. There's a Victorian player who's pulled up a little bit proppy. I think they're back to 15 aside now.
See what they can do from their own half here, see if they can get down there.
Set.
Oh, just left it behind a little bit, has to clean it up. It's a bit slow
Forwards
now
are
from
very
the
slow getting back from that
Victorians.
scrum, aren't they? Jeez.
It's like we said, it's been a big, hard weekend for them.
I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with that 6 from Vic Country. He's playing very well. Hello to Mr. Michael von Berg, watching all the way up in Brisbane.
Inside ball. Plummer again, does okay. White will send it out to Keach. Pitter will beat the first one. And the second one. And the second one was the first one again. Plummer, just a nudge of it.
Who's with him?
Isolated again. Can they get hands on? They do get hands on. Is it turned over? It's managed
Jones
to go
playing
through.
the whistle.
Ashenford. Second kick wasn't the best in the world. That's a better
That's
jackal.
a great jackal. Unfortunately, he's just missed it
Didn't
at the
beat
end
the
there.
clean out.
Hands off.
And a box kick from Boyle.
Joe
Just to relieve a
Ashenford's
little
good
bit
at
of
the
the
old
pressure.
jackal. Here we go.
Coates beats the first one. Then we'll look for room on the
just
outside.
Pace. Oh,
Pace is great. What a
tackle. Is that
Philip
15?
Keach. That's a better tackle, young man. That's how they're supposed to be made.
That's the legal one. Great tackle there.
The old tap tackle.
Try saver.
He's finally succumbed, that Victorian player, I think.
Very dramatic pose. Unfortunately, I don't think they actually have any trainers, so SA will be keeping an eye on him, I think.
Kev Beckett's been out there for them.
Yeah, which is one of our trainers, which is good of him.
Of course, we have First in Force Sports First Aid.
That's stolen
Here
by
as well,
Steve
Stanojevic
there.
has shown it again that if you're running upright to him, he will steal it.
This is where it's on.
Ashenford.
Let's see if Marshall can give it.
Marshall decided he wanted to go, tries to get his arms free, but shakes out of the tackle anyway. Now there's space out to the left. Benja, Pitter, try number 4.
Just a little one from there, Marshall. He just maybe could have given that on his run, and we could have had a try a bit easier there. Just getting a little bit of white line fever there from Mr. Marshall.
And that's what we were talking about in the first half, is how difficult it is when, you're 60 points in front now.
Yeah, everyone wants to try.
Everyone wants to go, don't they? But they have played better in this second half. I feel that there's been a little bit more
composure.
A little bit more composure. I think Coates has certainly put a marker down in the thoughts of Snoop Jackson for tomorrow for the wingers.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. We haven't actually named the team for Monday yet, so a few boys from today definitely put their hand up.
Because that is your A-grade team. It should be your A-grade team on Sunday.
Well,
Meredith will
technically everyone's A-grade in this game, Dave, because it's the Falcons.
I don't know how to react to that.
Definitely looking at fielding the best 15 we've got, fittest 15 we've got on the field tomorrow. So,
but Coates has been impressive.
Very
give
impressive.
Him time and space, and then if you then
the old big legs down there, Carl
Fleetwood Piper on there as well, who's feeling a little bit of an ankle apparently.
Oh, he'd be all right. Look at the size of those legs.
Coates against Priest again.
He's going to be
it's
sore.
Ben White, that one. I know it was Priest again.
Let me give it.
Coe
Go
to Benja.
Good
to
draw.
Pitter. Pitter one-on-one with the little chip. Where's the bounce?
Good cover.
Ben White will sort the bounce out. I've shown when they go wide early, they can be quite dangerous, the Falcons.
Numbers out wide for Vic Country if they can get it out.
They've got to go, and they've got to go quickly, though. Inside ball. It's not a bad option because now the numbers are still there. They just need it quicker.
Give it.
Now it's time to go. The old Barnes Wallace will find its way out there. Now the 2-on-1. Now they get a little bit of a breakaway. Just didn't go to hand in the end. They have got an advantage for a knock-on. Tito in midfield. Good tackle in midfield by Andrew Scott.
Hands. Now we can see what.
Steps back inside. Beats a couple.
That ball's out.
Little spirited period from the Victorians.
Let him go.
Still haven't learned not to run in upright to Stanojevic. Oh, that
Good
made
hands
him reach,
by
but Ben White will shake through the first couple of tackles. Gets dragged down by Ashenford, and now they will have an advantage. Mann sends it out to Kurtzer. Kurtzer's got a couple in front of him. Again, acres and acres of space.
Where's his numbers?
They get there eventually.
Nice bit of off your feet cleaning out there.
Brown to Coe. Showed the inside ball, then gave it to Benja, and Benja will lose it forward.
Again, it's just those little things like that, the handling errors that.
I'll be honest with you. That turnover, when we see the turnover, I think the first thought should be, let's put it into their territory. Let's put it into their space, because we've gone 10, 12 meters forward.
Yeah.
And turned it over.
Yeah.
If trust that we can go and make those turnovers in their territory.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, you want to keep turning them. If you win that ball, keep turning them, keep them down their end.
So when we span it to Kurtzer, he's faced by 3 Victorians.
Yeah, 1 on 3 when they're all the big boys as well. It's not always fun for a winger.
Big drive from South Australia, penalty advantage.
And that's where you got the counter attack now.
Now they can look to go.
Now Benja back
has
himself.
a little bit of space, decides to come back inside, gets his hands free, finds Koe, and Koe will lose it. Ben White will put the foot on it. Ball just never sat up for Stanojevic, and Ben White, who, I'll be fair, has played very, very well for the Victorian side as well.
He's a hard little boy from Onkers.
Pitter steps back inside, is met by a couple, manages to get to ground. Marshall runs away from his support a little bit, there. But it gets there.
Now someone needs to be with Jack there.
Oh, he nearly lost that one as well, but got there eventually. Good counter up from the Victorians.
Very slow there.
Finally finds his way to Hyam, who runs away from the first one. Short ball to Meredith, then Man will go. Man will step outside.
Let him go!
Now we come.
Meredith to Koe, and that one will bounce its way to Benja.
He's not got his catching hands on today, old Benja, has he?
I know it seems weird to criticise a team that's 60 points up, but Ferryman had a 2-man overlap then.
Yeah. But it's things that we can go away, watch tonight and tomorrow morning. In the short period of time we can discuss what we need to do ready for the next day.
Leave your hands out of it, yeah?
You know, I've been very impressed with Ben White from Onkers playing for Vic Country. He's come on and given a lot of heart for them, which is good. Obviously he loves rugby and just wants to play.
I'm not sure what the delay is.
Someone doing a lace,
I think. Just go and try and find out how far into this game we are. So we have crossed the hour mark. Should probably start to expect to see changes from Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, we've got one stood next to him. The rest are still warming up around the back.
Likely to see that entire front row change again, as we did on Friday night.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Another big, strong scrum from South Australia, but I think we'll just reset that one.
Yeah, push it this way.
And we got the first substitution there coming on.
Gatehouse is going to come on. Pitter is going to go to fullback. Gatehouse will come on to this near side wing. And Sambrook is going to make his way in. You would think that would be for Logan Brown, a 1-for-1.
And
it is.
Sean Meredith is off as well. Sean and Logan both had good games.
The thing that Pitter gives you is as he goes back to fullback, he gives you versatility. He can go anywhere across the back line, and 6 and 7 is also an option for him.
Yeah, started at 6 for Brighton in their grand final this year. Always handy to have an extra back on the flank. It's a bit of a better scrum from Vic Country.
Well, the number 8 looked to pick it up, and then they've just trundled over the top of it, and Groves will go, then pull it out to Plummer, to Koe. Koe will straighten, gets his hands free. Good desperation tackle.
I think Vic Country
just about got it. Groves, Marshall. Marshall will try and shake through. He will work over. Blair Marshall will get his try for the day.
Now he won't stop talking about that one after the game.
80 metres out, individual effort.
Look, I see where you're coming from on that one, but the ball was available at the back, so we just let it come out there. You guys were a bit late.
So Plummer will take it back over on the kicking. Now Meredith has done his shift for the day.
And I believe Blair Marshall's little dog is here to watch and score that one, so that's nice.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
and then the ball came out,
in the grandstand. I've got another 2 front rowers doing the straight swap.
So there we go. That'll be France and
Steve coming off.
Stanojevic will come off.
For Dawes and Curtis.
That one will come round with the wind, and Plummer finally gets one. There's a question from Ben and Lapworth asking which clubs are involved in the Vic Country, Ballarat, Bendigo, Shepparton. I think there was a couple of players from Geelong. I think the young man, there was someone who I was trying to work out a pronunciation. He was from Geelong, so yeah, there were some people from Geelong. I think some of the fringe ones did get there.
It's nice to see a wide variety of clubs all coming together, isn't it?
So 69-0.
Will they make the ton?
Oh.
Unfortunately, when things are going bad, things are going bad.
So that will give them a scrum in midfield. Well, they just went to the numbers last time. Let's see whether they do run the old 8-9-15 this time.
Be nice to see it once with Pitter there at 15 as well.
If you want to get in the re-kick, you can.
So they have stacked the near side again. I'm a big fan of that. I don't like seeing teams split the back line.
No. To be honest, I don't really get to see it much. My head's in between someone's legs, so.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Oh, depends who you ask.
Looks like there's going to be a half-back combination change as well at some point.
Just talking tactics down there on the side of the field.
Set. Hold boys, hold boys, hold boys, hold boys.
There we
So
go.
we are going 8-9-15.
Let's see what Peter and
Went
Tristan
a little
can do.
bit early, but there we'll go out to
2-on-1.
Kurtzer, and Kurtzer will send his way. And that's how it's done. It's that easy.
And that's it. That's just simple rugby, you know. Draw and give. Winger came in, thought he had to get Peter, leaves Tristan to come straight down the side. Beautiful there.
So his second or third try today, Kurtzer.
I think that's his third.
So his third. He's certainly put a marker down then. You'd think to be in the mix for a starting spot.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, no, he's played very well. Defence, in attack, late hits, he's done everything today. He will be a sore body after this game, I think.
Well, Chris Slight wandered over because I think he wanted to go. But Plummer has sent him away.
Yeah, well.
Because Plummer's about to go off, but
Technically, he still has to take this kick, so. Because he wants to.
well, the 100 is looking gettable now.
Yeah, how long have we gone? Still got.
I would
20 odd
imagine
minutes
it'll still be,
then.
what, 15 minutes to
15
go?
minutes
67 minutes gone, so there'll be 13 minutes plus stoppage time. But I would think that we are playing a running clock in this second half at the very least.
Yep. And Mr. Jack Groves is off, and so is Jason Hyam. So we got
I think that'll be all the changes
the main
now.
captain, Jack Campion of the SA, is on with the other captain, Blair Marshall, in the row. And
Timmy Dawes is on.
Lewis
Curtis
Adcock.
Waldridge Wright is on.
Lewis Adcock is on at the flank for Jack Groves.
And we saw the changes at half-back as well, with Galloway and Slight making their way back to the field.
You don't really want that ball to bounce that much.
Andrew Scott will take a couple of Victorians with him.
Just off the boot there.
Well, the first action for Slight is to give away a penalty.
Kicked into his own player there in front of him.
You can't kick it in the ruck, can you? Now to Priest. Just probably the worst thing he's done all day, that young man. Matt Boyle's had a wonderful day. Probably the only mistake he's made in an hour of rugby, nearly 70 minutes of rugby.
No, he's definitely been Vic Country's one of their strongest players today.
Campion will tidy up the lineup. Not a clean one, but they got there. Slight to man. Galloway to Slight, to Benja, to Pitter.
Oh,
Flag goes up. Borderline getting that away.
yeah, to me I thought he got it away just in time, but obviously not.
Wind has picked up here.
Just a little bit. The old goosebumps on the legs.
boys. 4 in.
Over the top, and
Numbers there.
Galloway
SA
will
not
get it
being
with
awake.
numbers, and that is not awake because SA were there and ready and just needed to.
Just need to look up and count.
Yeah.
Numbers 5 on 4.
So Victoria is still going.
Oh,
big run.
bounce on Timmy Dawes. He won't like that one, but he's won that back in the ruck, so it's a pro and a
The expected arm to come out for South Australia, and there it goes.
go.
Tackle's responsibility. Got to get out.
So, okay, 74-0 up and not long left in the game. You can hear people saying, go, 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 we want to go, we want to go. This is the time that you almost have to use this like a captain's run now. And no disrespect to to Victorian country, but this has to be a captain's run now.
Yeah, correct. I saw Mr. Marshall there just saying, no, slow it down and let's go to the line out. So that's good captaincy there, just slowing it down, making sure we're going through the process.
Wait. Use it!
Seems to be a little bit of a confusion.
Obstruction there. Needed to hold on to that ball at the front. That's just a little bit from Marshall there, just rugby knowledge.
I don't think Victoria engaged.
No, they didn't. That's the rugby knowledge from Blair Marshall there, just to make sure no one's engaging. You've still got to have the ball at the front of the maul there.
I think he could have turned and gone like Mr. Campion on Friday night.
I know all too well about that engaging.
Well, that's about as good as it gets from Mr. Priest. It's hit the only bar it could up here and then bounced back towards him.
Yep.
I'm sure he meant that. And Galloway again has gone quickly. How's the bounce for Galloway? Not good enough. Played very well on Friday night, Kyle Galloway, and has certainly come into this game with a bang as well.
Yeah, he's a very good player. Talks to the team very well from that halfback spot. Very good understanding of the rugby knowledge there.
Played Australian services as well, so has national rugby under his belt.
Correct, yeah, correct. No, he's I think he's been very good for Elizabeth this year in that halfback spot.
Off the top, Galloway to Slate.
Andrew
To
Scott.
Scott.
There. No one's
Scott will find a gap. Can he get his hands free?
Oh.
Does get his hands free, but White is there to make the intercept. What will Vic country do? Better reaction from South Australia to the turnover from their point of view, and into the breadbasket of Ulrich Wright.
Wasn't expecting that one, I don't think.
No, and they've turned it over.
And this is where you come left.
Numbers left. Numbers left.
Advantage, play in half.
Numbers still out
Still
to the left.
left.
Arm is out. Numbers are still there. Gotta go.
This is where you need to.
Numbers are still there. Slight.
Will he give it?
Fires it a long way out. Bounces to Gatehouse. Gatehouse will step in and Gatehouse will score.
Not the cleanest of tries, but a try no matter what. Just simple hands, to be honest.
All
Always
count the same.
We're allowed to come through though. He's got heads of the ball. We're allowed to
cut out pass. Just gives that time though for the defence to come across.
You can't play the half. But he's part of the ruck. The second his hands were on it. So we're allowed to play him. No, his hands went on it by the time you touch it. Once he picked up the ball, he's fair game. Until he's picked up that ball, you can't touch him. We're allowed to drive over. Yeah. What do you want us to do? You hit in there. You
So I think that's South Australia done with the changes. I don't think you'll see any more changes from South Australia.
No, I think that's everyone off the bench now.
So I'm just listening and trying my best to listen to Blair Marshall, who's not being quiet in the huddle. He's basically saying this now has to be a captain's run. He said we hold our own ball, we play our structure. This is the difficult point when we're about to go 81 points to 0 up. I didn't curse him that time as he knocked it over. 81 points to 0 up with a fair amount of time to play. About 7 minutes to play. This isn't now about running up that score. If they play structured rugby and they play good rugby,
It'll happen.
It will happen.
Yeah, correct. No, it'd be interesting to see what we do here. Hopefully we do what we're meant to do. Sometimes a bit of white line fever kicks in at this end of the game with the scoreline. So,
well, you only really had 2 weeks together, so you've got to take every opportunity you can to put things in place and work on things.
Yeah. Great restart again.
Again, great restart.
Good take from
Well
Mr.
take from Campion, though.
Or as he told me earlier, he likes to be known as the King.
King of Green Hill Road. Self-appointed, though, so.
Yeah.
Campagna. Oh, big strong run, met strongly by Dawes and Marshall. Victoria have shown that, you know, when they're given the opportunity to, they will play good rugby. All right. No, they got away with it. Sandbrook goes quick and turns it over. Not 10 now. But again, we talked about playing sensible and structured rugby, and I'll give Sandbrook that. The guy wasn't back 10, but.
The difference there, because there was a ruck over you, you're down a man on the ground, you can't get up and play that ball. If there was no ruck over you...
Conversation between Campion and
Yeah,
Marshall.
just hit that one. If they don't engage, let's not do what we've done last time, I think. Yeah, Campion's got a good rugby brain, so...
Marshall, yeah, and there he goes. Good work from Campion and Marshall. Slight to Scott.
He likes that outside run in there, Scott.
Galloway fires it at the feet of everyone. Everyone has to get away from it. But Pitter will bounce up nicely for Pitter.
And that is just an ankle breaker.
Poor Ben White.
And is that, what, 5 for Pitter now?
That is 5, I think, for Pitter Bullowa. Sensible. That was good work. And I didn't mind that. Campion had spoken to him, and Victoria didn't engage, so Marshall just went.
Yeah, we saw that on Friday night with Campion and Marshall again, and Campion going over the white line. So
86 points to 0 with the kick to come. About 3.5 minutes. Be interesting to see whether that South scoreboard will make it up to 100. I don't think it's ever gone up that high.
No. The old scoreboard probably did a couple of times, but
Slight will knock it over. So 12 points in 3 minutes.
it's possible, but it's
possible, but not very probable.
Yeah, be nice to get the old ton on there, but
I think that would be close to a record score for South Australia.
They haven't played many games, so.
So you're going to give Ben White a kick.
Does everything, Mr. Ben White.
Drives it at Campion.
Looks like a nice setup there. Good offload there from Gary Mann.
Sandbrook. Not used to seeing Sandbrook run through the middle of the field. He
No,
likes the wider channels, the 15-metre channels.
Yeah, that's...
Marshall to Dawes.
Oh.
Dawes will show and
Dawes
go.
here
Dawes will get some pace. Dawes will go. He'll go over. That's a popular try on the Falcons bench.
He will like that. I think Mr. Dawes had a wedding yesterday, so it's been capped off by a good weekend so
It's not a bad little present for him.
So, we said 12 points in 2.5 minutes.
It's got to be the game. So 93 points with the kick to come.
If I was a betting man, I'd probably put money on them doing it.
Depends on this restart. I know if I was playing for Victorian Country, I'd be putting that
down in the 22.
Kick-off would be right down in the 22, as deep as I could possibly get it.
I'm not sure how windy it is down there, but
nobody wants to turn. Look at a score that's got 3 figures on it, do they?
Wow, if you're the team with putting the 3 figures on, you do. Nice low drive, but...
It's a really interesting kicking style. Oh, there's full time. 93 points to 0. South Australia winning that one over Victoria Country. Some bright spots for Vic Country. Very, very impressed with the play of Matt Boyle, the number 6, the captain. Abel Tito looks like he could go and do some stuff. And Benny White from Unca Paringa, the South Australian boy, This is a nice little cherry on top for the Victorian country.
Yep.
But there's not a lot you can say about South Australia. That's about as dominant as it gets from a rugby performance.
Yeah, it leads us nice into tomorrow. Again, good teamwork there. We can go away now, talk about it, get set for tomorrow for the big one.
And I don't mind the fact that there's competition for places. That's not a bad thing for South Australia either. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back very shortly for the Northern Territory taking on Tasmania. Thank you very much for joining us in this first one, with South Australia getting up 93 points to 0 against Victoria Country. Thank you very much for joining me, Callum. Are you hanging around for the next one?
I'll have to check and see.
I will see about that one. You might have some Black Falcons duties to go to. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for this rugby, brought to you by Rugby Union South Australia and powered by Space Quake Sports.